Again, my name is Jessica Gordan. I'm here from the Finkelstein Memorial Library. The Finkelstein Memorial Library is Spring Valley's public library. So you might be used to hearing like the New City Public Library, Suffern Public Library, and sometimes people get a little bit confused about Finkelstein Memorial Library because it doesn't have that word public in there. But this is Spring Valley's East Ramapo's public library. And so, you want to, it's part of your community. So you really want to come in and find out what services we have and use the library because it is something that is available to you. I am in the youth services department. So we work with children and teens all the way from babies who were just born and need to have a story time or some, beginner books, all the way up to teens who are about to graduate from high school who, are still looking for community service hours for school or, want obviously those teen books or test prep books, anything like that. So we work with all of those ages in this department. Okay, so if you want to know more about our staff, I did just do this little quick recording right here, which is just on our website. If you go to finkelsteinlibrary.com, .org, we actually have this little Bitmoji intro to each of our staff members so that when you come in, you know our names. You might not quite know our faces, although I bet that you can guess which one is me. You know our names and you know a little something about us so that you feel, you already feel comfortable. And we have such an awesome staff in our department.
Those Bitmojis are so cute.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of funny when we ask for like the teenagers, because we have teenagers who go to Spring Valley and Ramapo high schools who work with us as pages. Pages are the ones who shelve the books, and they work with us. We have like 10th and 11th graders right now, and when we ask them for Bitmojis, they don't even know what they are because apparently they're only for old people now. So
wow,
that's great.
Come on, that's when we caught up with it.
I know it's pretty crazy. So first, of course, I want to mention how you can get a library card. So library cards are completely free. And the only requirement is that you live within the East Ramapo School District's like addresses, basically, which if your child goes to an East Ramapo school, then that's you. You live in the school district. So you can find more information about this on our website, and you can actually apply for the card straight through our website so that then all you have to do is come in and pick it up. So you can see down at the bottom, I have a little drop-down menu. So you can see you go to under the About tab, and then it says how to get a library card. So when you click that, it actually has a whole document that I couldn't really screenshot because it's there's a lot of words on it. But it basically tells you what identification you need to bring in order to get a library card. For adults, it's usually something like if you have a driver's license and a bill that you pay, a utility bill, something like that. There are a bunch of different options, which is why I just refer to you to the sheet because I can't remember all of them. But if you scroll down on that same page, you see this button that I have at the bottom of the page here that says library card application. And then finally on the right-hand side, that's what the application looks like. As you can see, you can fill it out for yourself. You can fill it out for your child. You can all get library cards through the website. I know some of you may have applied for a card through your child's school in the project that we're doing where you can apply for a library card through the school and then we'll make it and then send it back to your child at their school. That is still happening. So if you applied through that for your child, you're set, you're good to go. They're going to get their library card later this school year. But if you missed that, or if you want to get one for yourself, this is a great way to do it.
We did get a lot of applicants, right, for that?
Yeah.
Over 300 applicants from the school. So that was just really exciting to see, like, the community really embracing it. So that's what do you have access to with these cards?
Yeah. So with your library card, so you, as I have written here, you have access to the entire RCLS catalog. So Finkelstein is the Spring Valley Library, but we actually share items and materials with all of the other libraries in Rockland County, as well as all of the other libraries in Orange County. So RCLS stands for the Ramapo Catskill Library System, which Finkelstein is a part of. And so you can have your Finkelstein card, but you can go into the New City Library, the Suffern Library, the Nyack Library. You can go into any of those other libraries and check out materials right there.
As
So
long as
that,
you have the card, that's all
yep,
we
as
need.
long as you have your card, yeah.
So essentially, this is the library card is not just for Finkelstein. The library card is for the entire Ramapo Catskill library system. Is that what it is?
That is absolutely correct. Yes.
That's awesome.
The only requirement is that you get your library card at your home library, which if you live in East Ramapo would be Finkelstein. But we do, because this school district is laid out so big and sprawling. So we do have some people who live way closer to another library. So they come into Finkelstein, they get their library card because we are their home library, and then they never come back to Finkelstein. They use another library.
I mean, as long as they're reading, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fine that they're going to any library at all. So if you think oh, I don't live near the library, I don't need a library card because I live too far away, you can still use it at other libraries that might be closer to you. And also, I'm going to talk about some of the online stuff that you can do with your card on my next slide.
Well, so essentially, just to clarify, I'm sorry, just to clarify real quick, I can use this library card anywhere in those that fall under the Ramapo Catskills library system. But the only caveat, the only thing that I need to make sure that I do is that I have to go to my home library in order to get it. So right now it's a special circumstance that happens with East Ramapo students that they can get their card directly through you, even if they live next door to the Nanuet Library.
Yes, exactly. So sometimes patrons can be really frustrated with that, oh, I know I live in East Ramapo, but I live really close to the Nanuet Library or the New City Library or whatever. Why can't I just go in here and get my card? And unfortunately, that's just a circumstance of taxes, right? It's always a circumstance of taxes. So because your taxes go to Finkelstein because you live in our service area, that's why you need to come to us to get your library card. But once you have it, exactly, we don't care where you go, just go check out books. It's fine.
And you can do it online, so it just makes it easier for you.
Exactly. So so over here, I am talking a little bit about our online materials. So you can get books, movies, music, all online. So once you have your library card, again, if you don't live anywhere near Finkelstein, you don't live anywhere near another library, it's hard for you to get here, you can still use library services with your card, just purely online, purely on your phone or on your Chromebook or whatever, as long as you have the connection that you need at home. So I'm going to go over some of these more in detail, but first I just want to show you guys how you can access them, which is on the Finkelstein website under the drop-down menu that says services, and then it says ebooks and streaming media. Some of the highlights are Hoopla, Libby, or Overdrive. It's the same thing, two different names. Canopy and Tumble Books, which I think the school district might actually have Tumble Books as well.
I think some people have access to Tumble Books. So is this an app that people can get?
Yeah, so for I'm not sure about Tumble Books, but for the other ones, definitely for Hoopla and for Libby, there are apps, and I actually on my next slide, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Libby, and I have a couple of videos here so that you can see how you actually access these things. So I hope I uploaded the right, yeah, those are different. Okay. So on this video, I know they're not the best high quality or anything, but hopefully you can kind of see, I'm just scrolling through some of the children's titles. And then I'm going back into the teen titles. And again, I know it's not the most high quality, but there are some bestsellers on there, some classics on there. So, it's not just all stuff that no one actually wants to read or no one's ever heard of before. Like, they are best-selling books that you can just get by logging onto your phone and downloading this app and having a library card. So in this one, I'm just showing how you can click it so that it only shows you items that are available now. So the one downside to Libby is that there are limited copies of items. So you might want a book and it's checked out by someone else right now. That can happen. But you can limit it to available now. And then you saw I clicked on the title. I clicked borrow now. I'm going to play that last part one more time. I just clicked borrow now, and then I had a book to read on my phone. So right now they are advertising these pirate books. I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure what about this month means pirates to them, but okay. And so you can see I borrowed it with my library card, opened it, and it was right there. And then finally, this video so this is an example of how to place a hold. So first I clicked where the sidewalk ends. Someone had it checked out already, and I just clicked place hold. Oh, I did that really fast though. Let's go back.
Somebody
and watch
has
that one more time.
it's a digital tool, but they're placing it on hold. Like, you can't access it.
Yeah, so basically this is a consequence of the modern age, which is that publishers hate libraries. And they want to charge us an insane amount of money for this license. And so because of that, it's like one license where someone checks it out and then the next person has to wait for it.
Okay, so you're not taking away the essence of actually going to the library. You still got to put
exactly. You still got to wait sometimes.
So I actually went and downloaded the Libby app right now.
Yeah.
And it actually asks you for a library card. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it asks you for a library card, which is pretty cool. And then I wrote not yet, for example, and it'll actually show me libraries that are nearby. So it says most libraries let you sign up at the nearest branch. You can get a library card. And then if I put yes, it actually lets me search for things. So this is a pretty, quick and easy app to use.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Spanish? Do you know if it also has Spanish and like other languages?
I believe it does. I think I've seen them. I have mine limited to English, but if it limits to English, then there must be other languages. That must be why.
That's cool.
So yeah, so that one, so this next one I'm going to talk about is a little bit different because so for Libby, because we're purchasing each license individually, that's why you might have to wait until someone returns a copy in order to get your own. But with Hoopla does ebooks, comics, movies, and music. So it does more than Libby because Libby is really just about the books. And audiobooks. I don't know if anyone else here likes to listen to their books, but I really like to listen to my books. And all of these have audiobooks as well. But so for Hoopla, the library pays for the service as a whole. It's an external company that we pay for. And so the company provides certain titles. So for this one, I always say they might not have the most popular titles, but they have unlimited copies. So you never have to wait.
Nice.
And they do have some really good titles anyway. They might just not be the most popular ones, but you can see I'm under at the top, there's different tabs. There's audiobooks, comics, and ebooks. So I'm just kind of scrolling through. You can see they have DC and Marvel. They have Big Nate. Here's the audiobook of The Hate You Give that's going by right now. They also have for younger kids like Pete the Cat. So
kid right now.
Absolutely. That's great. So like they have for all ages, whether it's for yourself or for your kids. Over on this one, so over here I wanted to show you guys how the comics looked because I love reading comics on this app. So here I am, I'm checking out Big Nate. And so first of all, I just want to show you what it looked like. So this one actually downloads the item to your phone.
Oh, so you can read it offline then.
Yeah, exactly. So that you don't have to have an internet connection when you're actually reading. So actually, hold on, let me mention that. So yeah, so for this one, I think for Libby as well, actually, if you don't have an internet connection at home, you can come to the library, use our internet connection on your own device to check out the materials. And then as long as it's downloaded to your device, you can then leave the library and listen to it and read it and whatever without an internet connection.
Nice.
So if you don't have that at home, it's a great option.
Can I take the advantage to sidebar on that one a little bit?
Yeah.
Don't you guys have like also a hotspot program?
Yeah, we do.
Nice.
Sure
Okay,
do.
so how does that work for anyone in the, because in our district we do offer hotspots to our students, but you actually can service an entire community of people, right?
Yeah. So what we're doing right now is that we are at circulation, which is the first desk when you walk into the library. It's the desk where you check out your books, where you get your library card, all of that. And they are it's them, and it's also the people up on the, if you've ever been to the library, it's the people up on the third floor who run the computers up there too. So between the two of them, they're circulating hotspots so that you can have Wi-Fi. They are also circulating, I don't know if they're doing it yet, but it's coming soon if it's not, Fire Sticks and also Rokus that have, like, for example, you'll get a Fire Stick that has Netflix on it. And then you have Netflix for, I don't remember how long the loan period is, a week maybe. So then you have Netflix for a week.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me right now, I can go to the library if I am part of the library system, your library. I can go over there. I can pick up a hotspot. So now I have internet, and I can pick up a Fire Stick, and now I have Netflix.
Yep. So basically how that works
all for
is
free?
So there are all for free. So there are some services that libraries will limit to only their own patrons. So like, for example, these ones that are like really, really awesome services, I believe are only for Finkelstein patrons. So that is the perk of being our patron here in the East Ramapo School District.
There you go. You heard it here, community. You guys have some amazing perks in your library. So visit your home library, Finkelstein Library, because my gosh, that's amazing.
And especially if you go to Spring Valley or to Chestnut Ridge, we're like down the street. So like, just come say hey. And so, so for those, you check them out just with your library card. And all you need at home is the TV to plug the Fire Stick into. There's those. There's also some other items that are exclusive to Finkelstein patrons are our museum passes, which are tickets to various museums that you would get for free. I think sometimes it's just heavily discounted, but most of them are for free entry into museums. We also have launch pads, which are, if you know, like an iPad or a Kindle, something like that. It's a tablet that is preloaded with educational games. It has no internet access, so you don't have to worry about your kid, wandering off and finding something on the internet you don't want them to see.
We're talking to somebody randomly.
Exactly. So right now we have, for ages 3 to 7, we have those little tablets. And so, you check out the tablet, you have it for, again, I think it's about a week. And then you bring it back and you can get a different one with a whole bunch of different games on it. And like I said, they're all educational. So you can get one that's themed for like ABCs, or one that's themed for math or life skills, things like that. So those are really awesome also.
Well, just so everybody knows, again, you do not have to have a child in the district to take advantage of these services. You just have to reside in the Finkelstein Library zoning areas.
Yes.
So, and if you ever are wondering, does this person qualify? Just give a call to the library. They can always tell you if you can do it. Now, keep in mind, I'm pretty sure that there's a time limit to renting this equipment, but always contact the library to get like actual information, detailed information. But take advantage if you know someone in your community, maybe a senior citizen, maybe a neighbor who doesn't have internet. This would be a great opportunity to be able to help them.
Actually, since you mentioned senior citizens, we also have a homebound program. So if you know someone, whether a senior citizen or someone who's disabled and can't leave the house and would love some books to read, we have a homebound program where they can sign up and then they get books delivered to their house. They get them delivered to their house, they read them, and then the next week or 2 weeks from then, they get another delivery of books, and those first books go back to the library to get returned. So
Amazing.
yeah, so all of that is through adult services. And I know the person who used to run it, now someone else runs it, but they really care. They really want to find like good books that these people will enjoy. They the patrons signed up for Homebound fill out like a little questionnaire about what kinds of books they like, that kind of thing, so that you're not just getting random stuff, you're getting things that hopefully you'll like.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah, so that is a really good program as well. So yeah, so like I was saying, like on back to Hoopla, is that on here I'm just showing you what the book actually looks like when you open it. And then if it looks too small for you on your device, you can actually zoom in and go frame by frame. And this is like my favorite thing. I read so many comics on here.
I love it.
It's really, really, really cute. And yeah, so it's a really good, go to the next slide. Okay. So beyond that, also, we have all of these awesome resources, but we also have the best resource, in my opinion, which is your friendly neighborhood librarians that are here, that are, educated in a way to help you, to help you and your kids succeed, and help you foster a love of reading throughout their life, and all of that good stuff. So one of those things, of course, is what should I read next? So if you go on our website, under the youth services page, there's a what to read next tab. And we have a form that you can fill out for book recommendations. So the way that works is that you would fill out the form that's on the right hand of the slide. And it just asks, like, what books has your kid read in the past? What interests do they have? Do they, are they above, below, or at their reading level? Things like that. And then one of the librarians picks out like 5 or 6 books, gives you a call. Hey, your books are ready for you to come check out. You come into the library, check them out. You have no idea what you're picking up. It's like a surprise grab bag. You bring them home,
cool,
and you just see if you like them. And I really love that, because like I love surprises so much. We also have a surprise where at the children's desk, kind of right at the end, there's a couple of shelves, and if you look there are these books that are wrapped in brown paper. A lot of the times they're really decorated, really pretty, because we have our library assistant Michelle who decorates them for us, and she writes on them like a couple of things that the book is about, and like only the barcode is visible. And so you just take the book, like, oh, this is about history, and something, like a couple of things that look good to you. You just take the book, you check it out, and then you unwrap it when you get home and see what it is. So that's also a little surprise.
How much fun is that? I'm sorry. I'm like, first of all, I am in awe of what you guys do and the level of dedication that you guys take to just
Thank you.
that love for reading. I mean, just think about this. You guys are literally taking the information that a person puts in their child, and you are curating pretty much their own personalized, pitch.
Yeah.
How much fun is that?
And I always, of course, we can also do this if you come into the library. Hey, my kid just finished reading Percy Jackson. They really loved it. They need more to read. That's kind of like that. What can you suggest? We can always do that as well. That's called Reader's Advisory, and it's like our favorite thing to do. So we can always do that as well. These are just if you want it to be like a little bit more of a surprise when you pick it up. Or if you aren't as specific about what you want, if you want something that maybe you wouldn't have picked out for yourself. But also I will.
Amazing.
The thing that I really love to tell people just about this love of reading, we get a lot of parents who come in who maybe are concerned that their child is below their grade level with reading, or that they're on their grade level, but they refuse to read books that are, harder. They're only reading things that are easier, even though they are capable of reading harder books. And to those parents, I always say, from this librarian, that when I was in, 4th grade, maybe, My favorite book series ever was the Bailey School Kids, which is a young reader chapter book series. Each book is about 70 pages long. They are very, very short books. They are for second or third graders. I was in fourth or fifth grade. I could read one in an hour, but you know what? I would sit down and read 5 of them. So at least I was reading them. My mom never pushed me to read anything other than what I wanted, and I'm a librarian now. So
there's hope. That's what you're telling me.
You know, as long if your kid finds something that they love to read and you feel that it's too easy for them, you of course can suggest other things, but just letting them really read that thing that they love is what's really going to make them love reading for their whole life.
That's great advice.
And also on our website, we also have lists of some of the new books, just like featured books that are on our new shelves. So, you know, you can always browse through that as well. We also have our I Can Make a Difference manual. So this is also available through the Youth Services tab on our website. And we are in the process. This started out as 2 things, a big spreadsheet and a Word document. And it just got so long that it was very complicated. So we are in the process of transferring it over to a website that will be a lot more user-friendly. But essentially what it is it originated in response to the Black Lives Matter protests that happened in 2020. And I mean, you know, continue to happen. And it also actually more recently in the last year expanded to include Stop Asian Hate as well, for, you know, books and resources. So, you know, not everything on there is like very heavy political stuff. It's just to start a conversation. There's reading lists. So if you have a kindergartner and you just want this little kindergartner to be able to read a picture book about someone who looks like them, this list would help you. If you have a teenager that wants to get involved in, you know, social activism, we have resources and books for them to read as well. So it kind of really goes from the really, really simple for the little kids to something a lot more nuanced for the older kids, as well as a few parenting suggestions as well. Like you can see, we have Motherhood So Light. So there's
It's
items for
really
parents
like,
as well.
So it's really like books and information that could really help you get these conversations started.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
really be able to like open children's minds, you know, and be culturally relevant, which is huge. It's like it's a very big deal, and it's really important that children also, like you said, they can see themselves in a book.
Yeah, absolutely. We also are working on, so in the past at the library, we had stickers on the spines of the books. The ones that we had were mostly just African-American stickers, which we all kind of always had a problem with, right? Because not all of the Black patrons coming in are African-Americans, obviously. And so we always kind of had an issue with that. And then we wanted to start having a sticker for this culture and a sticker for that culture and da-da-da. And it was so many stickers that we wanted to have, and it would have been crazy. So now we just have this one sticker that says diversity. And so if you see that on the spine of a book, it means that someone in that book, you know, maybe is a person of color. They might also be on the LGBT, like under that umbrella somewhere, things like that. So, or it might depict like a non-traditional family, something like that. But yeah, so that if you're looking to start a conversation with your kid, or just looking to give them a little bit more of a full world scope that there are different people out there, then this kind of this sticker and this list and all of that would be really good for you. Because of course, libraries are really all about information sharing. And so we just want to share all the information.
Exactly.
Finally, also, homework help is back. So it's been, I don't know, 2 whole years since we've had homework help. So I don't even know if the people here in this program know about it. Excuse me. So under our youth services programs tab, we have homework help, and you can just register right online. So you can see in the screen grab there where to find it. And this is for students that are in grades 1 through 6, so elementary school students. We don't take kindergartners just because their homework tends to be like so much on the simpler side that our like so much more basic that our teen volunteers don't really know how to help with it. So we don't really take kindergartners because they don't understand how to explain those like really basic concepts. But for students in grades 1 through 6, they receive help with their homework from teen volunteers, mostly high school students, some middle school students. It runs Monday through Thursday from 4 o'clock to 5:45 p.m. when there's a full day of school. So like President's Day, there's no school, or it's a half day, or whatever the case may be.
Or a snow day.
We don't have it. Exactly, or a snow day, then there's no homework help. But on the other days, yes. Also, I do want to point out just that this is not a drop-off program. You bring your kid, you bring them to the room, and then you sit in the children's room and wait for them. You can't like, leave, go cook dinner, and then come back and get them. You need to remain in the library. Do not drop
off your child and leave your child. You have to stay with your child.
It does happen sometimes. And like, I understand everyone is busy. Everyone has errands to run, oh, but they're watching my kid. I need to go do this thing. And I totally get the temptation. But in case of emergency or anything, we are not teachers. So we don't have the same sort of rights and responsibilities that teachers have in case of an emergency with kids. So we really do need the parents to be in the building.
Yeah, and the tutors are also youth as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like there is a staff member in the room at all times, but there's one staff member and then a whole bunch of, teenage kids and then small kids. So it's, if in an emergency, it's a lot. But yeah, so everyone sign up for homework help, please. Then finally, we are bringing back our take and make crafts. We've been doing these for the bulk of the pandemic, and they are still so incredibly popular. So if you want to sign up for them, I do recommend like making a note or something, writing it, putting it in your phone, or writing a note to yourself on the calendar to sign up when the registration opens. But it's also under that programs tab, and basically you register for the age group that your child falls into. The registration opens 2 weeks prior to when you actually pick up the kit. So for example, let me look at the calendar real quick. So for example, the first kit for the winter spring season that we're starting is going to be available for pickup on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, which means that 2 weeks before that was January 31st. So that's when registration started. And then 2 weeks later, you get an email, hey, come on in, your kit is ready.
So then they get the kit and they complete these kits at home?
Yeah, so basically you come pick up the kit, you pick it up at the library at the children's desk, and then you receive an email to the provided email address that you give us with a YouTube link. And the YouTube link is the librarian who's in charge of that craft, showing you how to do it. We also have story time crafts right now. So that's mostly Miss Gabriella, I believe, who is reading you guys a story or a couple of stories, singing some songs like in a story time, and then doing a craft. So there's a little bit more to the video than just like stick this here.
And this is all free as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is all free as well. So you guys can do, little crafts. You can see our adorable pictures of some of our real patrons doing our real crafts. So
my friend over here is really making pretzels?
Yeah, so one of our librarians had them make pretzels, and then the thing in the two left-hand pictures are teaching constellations. So basically it's like you do pinpricks in the cardboard to make the constellations, and then we painted the tube, and once you assemble all of it, you basically look through the tube and hold it up to the light, and then you turn it and you can see the constellations like at the end of the tube. So it teaches you what they are.
So cute.
So, we try to be educational about it, but I mean, sometimes it's just goofy fun.
I still can't get over the pretzels over here.
Yeah, I know.
My friend over here looks like he's running a bakery. I mean, look at him.
I know. It's really funny with his little like carafe, like
yes.
thing. Like
he's like a future chef over here. We got a future
I know.
Michelin star chef here, everybody.
I
Wow,
know,
that is
he's really cute.
amazing.
But I know, and it made a lot too. I don't know how he even made that many, but whatever. He figured it out. So also for our teens, for parents of teenagers in the audience, we have our volunteer opportunities. Our teen librarian Diane is really, really awesome about working with the kids to get them the hours they need for whatever the case is, whether it's for school or for like religious purposes or whatever the case may be. Of course, we always need homework helpers. So if you have a good student who feels that they could help the elementary school kids with their homework, then we want them. But we also have Teen Advisory Board where they can talk about what kinds of programs they want to see at the library. We have VidCode, which is a coding program that they can participate in. Archangels is ARC actually stands for Advanced Reader Copy. So as librarians, we receive books before they are published. And so sometimes we ask the volunteers, hey, here's a list of books we have that have not been published yet. Pick one, take it home, read it, write a review, and tell us if we should purchase it for the library, because we can't read every book. Contrary to what people think, we can't read every book. So we're basically enlisting the teens to read them for us.
That is like so exclusive.
And get volunteer time. Yeah.
But that's like really exclusive stuff. Like you'll be able to read a book before anybody else gets to read it.
Yeah, it's really fun. I've been a librarian for many years already, and it's still very exciting to get ARCs. Awesome. And finally, we have Project Lit, which is writing based. So if you have a writer in your midst, then Project Lit would be for them. And finally, last but not least, just some contact information. You can see all of our little Bitmojis again. Can you guess which one is me? I don't know. I just
You're the one with the purple hair.
But I also just realized I'm wearing the same color cardigan as my skirt in that photo, because this is the only color I wear.
Can I just add one really thing real quick? You were talking about the last slide. If you can go back to the last slide real quick. So I do have to tell you that anybody who has a teenager or someone that wants to complete hours or anything like that, just know that opportunities like this also help you expand your resume. At this time, as a young adult, it's really hard to build a resume because you're like, what do I put in here? It's not just about paid experiences, but any kind of experience that you have. And something like this would be excellent. It's also great because you could use this as an opportunity or a conversation starter when you're really thinking about college and going beyond that. So definitely take advantage of these opportunities. So if you know of a teenager who you think would benefit from an opportunity like this, definitely reach out and get involved. It's a lot of fun. There's so many fun things to do in there. So if you like coding, here you go. You have something for coding. You like reading, you can definitely be an Archangels, which I think is so cool. So definitely take advantage, get those resumes going, start thinking about what you can do in the future with this information.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was a teenager applying for my first jobs, they asked for references and it couldn't be like a friend or a family member. And I'm like, those are the only people I know. I don't know anyone else.
Exactly.
Just today, actually, again, Diane, who used to work at another library, but was also the teen librarian there. She just got an email for a character reference for a teen who volunteered for her back in like 2017 or something at her old library, and is applying to be a substitute teacher. So like this kid is an adult now looking for a real person job and is still referring people back to their, teen volunteer supervisor. So this is literally something that can help a teenager well into, young adulthood, into college and beyond. So it is. I've written many a reference letter for past teen volunteers as well. So finally, like I said, just some contact information. You can always call us at the children's desk. We do also have a desk and a phone in the teen room now as well. So, you can always call us to see if we have a book on a shelf, to see if you can register for programs, which I did forget to say. If you want to register for homework help or for any of the kits, and you don't have a computer at home or you don't have a phone you can do it on, or whatever the case may be, you can just call us at the children's desk and let us know that you want to sign up for a program, want to sign up for homework help, whatever the case may be, and we can just do it over the phone for you on our computer at our desk.
Now,
So
somebody
you don't
here was asking someone in the chat real quick, because I do have some people in the chat. They were
sorry.
No, it's all good. You have so much good information, and I have to tell everybody out there, this is not only what the library offers. Like everything that Miss Gordan or Jessica is saying right now is just a small scope of what the library offers.
I'm just trying to shove it all in there.
It's a lot of stuff to shove in an hour. So definitely, like if you see on the chat, we do have the take and make sign up. Do you know, can you just show us where it is that they can find that information on the website?
Oh yeah, of course. Let me exit this.
We have a couple of people who are interested, and I want to make sure that they get that information.
Why can't I figure out just how to literally, oh, there we go. It went, okay, whatever. Okay, so here's the website. And hold on, let me just move this so I can see it better. So yeah, here's our website, and under youth services right here, you can find programs. So here's homework help. And that's how to register for homework help. I can actually even copy that into the chat right now.
Awesome.
So there's the sign up for that. And then there's also for the virtual program. So this would be for the kits. So you can see we have it broken down by age, and also there's another link to homework help. You can also see our full brochure by clicking here. I can link that as well. But yeah, so pretty much everything that I was just talking about is somewhere on our website here.
Awesome. So hopefully that answered your question, Art.
Yeah.
They were asking about that. Now, I do want to make sure that we don't forget about this, because I think it's extremely important. And look at that, you're hovering right over it.
I literally, as soon as you started saying it, I knew what you were talking about.
Well, let me tell you something, and I say this practically in every single family university whenever I talk about Finkelstein Library. Now, here's the thing. I am deeply appreciative of what Finkelstein Library does, because last year, my mother actually enrolled in Finkelstein Library's citizenship classes, and she became a citizen 6 months later. And it was completely free. It was on Zoom. Now, my mother doesn't know anything about computers. My mother doesn't know barely any English. She's always very nervous about everything. And they were so welcoming. And the lady who was teaching was just so nice. And my mother's always like, she's always texting her saying, I'm gonna pray for you and all this stuff. Like they formed this amazing relationship. So I want people to really remember that you do have opportunities to take English classes and citizenship classes if that's what you are interested in.
Yep. And yeah, like you said, it's completely free. One of the people who does the ESL classes, the English classes, is Lisa Allen, who actually works in youth services with me. So if you take ESL with her, you will have another familiar face in the library. And yeah, as you can see, this is under services. We have the citizenship and English classes. It's also where we have the ebooks I was talking about. We also have our eyesight center for anyone who has trouble seeing. We actually have services for that as well up in the technology area for when you need to use the computer and things like that. We also, of course, have job postings. If you're looking for a job, you can always see if the library is hiring. And etc. for printing, for notary, all that good stuff. Yeah. So we have a lot of services, both in children's, in adult services, in IT, everywhere. So you can see mobile hotspot right there. Bam, print service. You need to print something, you got it. So,
and again, I have to emphasize, everybody, this is free for you guys, because you guys are in that Finkelstein zone.
The only things that you have to pay for at the library, is I think you do get some pages for free if you have to print, but beyond a certain number, you have to pay for the pages, but it's inexpensive, it's a couple dollars. And then
I'm pretty sure you can't run off a whole, program.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So for printing, sometimes you have to pay something. And other than that, the only time you have to pay is if you check something out. And we're actually fine free in children. So if you check out a children's item and it's a few days overdue, don't worry about it. You will not be fined for that. The only time that you'll have to pay is if you lose that item or if it's damaged beyond repair. And then you'd have to pay to replace the item. But that's it. If you take good care of your stuff and you return it, totally free. But yeah, and I do see someone in the chat said that they did apply for a couple library cards. Yeah, if you applied for it through the school, then those will be coming to you and you don't have to do anything else. If you applied for it through the Finkelstein website or at the library, then yes, you would have to come in to provide that proof of address for your children. And like I said, if you go on here under is it under about? Yeah, under about and how to get a library card. This is the document I was talking about before that has all this information about what to bring. And here's the chart of acceptable identification. I know it looks really overwhelming and it is kind of annoying, but once you do it, you never have to do it again. You have your library card. You don't have to do it ever again. I feel you that it's annoying.
But it's necessary. This is how we make sure that, the right people are able to get the resources that they need and that, it's equitable. So we want to make sure that the people who are residents of this area, they get the resources that they need. So it's really important. And like you were saying earlier, the library is actually, run with taxpayers' money. So it's really the people who live in that area are the ones that fund these resources. So it's really important that people who are in these areas have that advantage. So that's why they have to make sure that people live in this area because it does have monetary things tied to it. Even though you're not paying for it, it is being paid for. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, and I see some people saying like, oh, the programs fill up fast. They do. Unfortunately, we, for like the kits and stuff, it's very cumbersome on our end. So we can only do so many just space wise. We wish we could do more, but that's why I always say like, mark it on your calendar, every Monday or whatever. Oh, a new craft kit is opening. Let me go on and register for that. And yeah, like I said, I put some of those links into the chat. So hopefully you guys can just click them and get registered for some of the ones that are open already. And yeah, I think that's everything I had to talk about. And oh my goodness, it's 6:56.
It's so good, but you have so much good information. Now, I do have to tell you, even though the things are filling up quick, do not let that hinder you from continuing to try. Just reach out to the library. They're always here to help you out. I do want to share another thing with you. I'm just going to share my screen real quick. In addition to, having all these resources, there may be people who don't have access to email addresses or emails. You can use your child's email from the district so that you're not that you can use your child's email, but your child has an email that you could use in registering your child for the library. And that's a great way for you to be able to connect. So now right here, I am sharing with you what your child's class link might look like. And your child has access to class link by just being able to sign in to their Chromebook. So think of this as your child's district device. When they open it up, sometimes they use their quick card, sometimes they type it in, but they go into their ClassLink Launchpad, and you notice there's a lot of different apps here. Your child may not have all of these, that's okay. But the one that I want you to focus on in particular is right here, that Gmail. When you click into it, you will go right into your child's district email address. And just so you guys know, it's very important for you to click in that because you will be getting, if your child is in a K-8, they might be getting an email from, or they will be getting an email from Book Nook. So make sure you check that one out. Book Nook is always the group that we partnered with in order to provide more tutoring sessions for you guys 3 days a week, completely free. So definitely make sure you check those emails because a lot of great things are going to be coming out there, but we want to make sure that you know where it is. You will be getting obviously more communication regarding that. So that being said, this has been an amazing Family University.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you all so much for listening to me talk for a whole hour.
Are you kidding me? I think all this stuff was, I'm going to call my local library and be like, what's going on? So
Yeah,
who knows?
I'm
They
not
might
gonna
have
lie,
stuff too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My sister, who lives down in North Carolina, her library doesn't do anything, and I'm so disappointed in them. So like, we really do a lot, guys. I promise.
Yeah.
Not
So
all
take
libraries are like
advantage
this.
because they're doing it and they're so excited to do it and so excited to share this information. So definitely take advantage of those resources. Also, remember, you do have the district. We are here to assist you guys, and we want to make sure that you are aware of the happenings and also the opportunities that you have here at the district. So I want to say thank you to Jessica. Thank you so much for taking the time just to talk to us. You kind of were like our seasonal February person, because it is Rockland Reading. So you might be hearing your child talking about it. And this is how you keep that conversation going and try to like create these moments where you can work with your child in order to get that love of reading going. And who knows, maybe it'll spark something in you too, and you guys will have something that you can relate on. So definitely reach out for that. I also want to thank the district. I want to thank our superintendent, Dr. Ellis, for the support, as well as our monitors, Dr. Lowe, Mr. Singer. And I also want to give a shout out to a couple of people. First, I want to say thank you to our curriculum and instruction department led by Ms. Iwaha. Huge advocates of Family University, always making sure that the information is going out to the community in a different way. This is not, this is a more informal, more one-to-one conversation. Also want to thank Ms. Iwaha, Ms. Macias, Ms. Walker, Dr. West, and also Ms. Barrow for, there are ASIs, and we appreciate the support, as well as people who showed up today. I want to thank also Ms. DeSimone, Ms. Politzer. I feel like I'm on like the Academy Awards. DeSimone, Politzer, Ms. Petrella, who are on here. We're so excited. We love seeing people that are from our administrative team here, as well as some teachers and some students. And of course, I have to thank Mr. Gandhi, who runs the MIS department, who makes sure that we are connected with all of you at all times. And of course, our two interpreters here today, Vicente. Go ahead and wave to everybody, Vicente. This is like tradition for us, Vicente. Turn on your camera and wave hello to the people. Vicente is here, as well as Roosevelt. There he is, always making sure that we are able to translate. Hi, Roosevelt. Making sure that our community can understand what is happening, can also listen to this in the language of their choosing. And before I get off, we have Miss Iwaha here, who is our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction. I don't know if you want to say hello, Miss Iwaha.
Well, of course, I'll say hello. Thank you so much. I just love the liveliness of this. And also, I really appreciate how we are responding to what it is that our community wants. So I just thank Finkelstein for offering so many opportunities. And I appreciate you, Dominguez, for just making sure that the word gets out. So I just encourage our families to continue to tell people about this. Family University, continue to communicate some of whatever it is that you're interested in learning more about, because that's what we're here for. So have a good night, everyone.
Have a great night, everyone. And remember to fill out those surveys. Let us know what you are thinking and how we can continue to assist you. Have a great night. Buenas noches. I don't know how to say it in Haitian Creole, but I will learn for you all. Have a great night.